everybody. In this video, you'll be understanding about multidimensional arrays in C# with an example application. And this is the example application 2. And if you recall from the last video that we created another app and it was to print a design onto the console. In this video, also we're gonna be doing the same thing, but we're gonna be drawing a different design. Okay, so let me just show you a preview or a quick preview of how our app will look after we develop it. Okay, so we'll just run the app that I've made. Okay, over here I've run the application, and first thing that our app asks us to enter is the size of the metric. So if you recall from the last video again, we did the same thing, right? Enter the size of the metrics. Over here, I'll just say something like 5. Okay, so it prints out a design like this. Over here at the top, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the value that we entered. And then here it is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is 3. 1, 2, 3. Here it is 2. 1, 2. And here at last is 1. So this is the kind of application we're going to be developing today. And now before doing that, I'm just going to close this application, run it once more, showing it, and show you another example. Okay, over here I've run the program again, and now it asks us to enter the size of the metric. So this time let's say something that is bigger than the last time. Let's say something like 20. So it starts off at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it goes till 20, and it ends off at 1 with 1, 0. Okay, now let's take a look at how we can develop this application in a very simple manner. Okay, so I'm just going to close this and open Visual Studio, create a console application that is in C#. Okay, over here I've created a console application in Visual Studio, and now let's get into developing our app. It's a C# application, okay? Over here, we're gonna type in is console.write. So we're gonna say the user to enter the size of the metric. So enter the size of the metrics. Colon space. And over here, let's say int metrics size, and assign this to int.parse console.readline. So what we're doing here is we're declaring an integer variable metric size and initializing that to a value that is read from the console. We are converting that to an integer. Okay, console.readline that, and add a semicolon there. Now next we're gonna declare integer two-dimensional array for sure. So just say int square brackets and comma, because this is a 2D array, and then close that square bracket off, and let's call this, like, for example, numbers, and initialize this to new int, and now the size of your 2D array. Over here, first you have to enter in rows, so also metric size, and even columns, metric size, and both of them are the same variable over here. Okay. Now next, we are gonna be using a for loop to insert some values into this array over here. So right now it has no values. So the for int row, and row should be less than metric size. Okay, so this metric size is this variable over here, and it is the number of rows that are inside of this numbers array. Okay, and then inside of this for loop, another for loop. We'll have another for loop. So this will be for column, and column should be less than matrix size also, because that's the size over here of the columns. And inside of this for loop, what I'm going to say is if row is less than or equal to column, then we're going to write, wait just a second, control that write, we're going to write a 0 and a space. Okay, so let me explain this code to you right now. Over here, I'll just add one more thing and I can explain it in a better manner. Console.writeLine, we're adding in a new line. So console.writeLine / and then escape character. And I'm now going to explain about that now. And just a basic definition, this is used to create a new line. Okay, so I'm just going to explain this for loop over here, these two for loops. So here we're saying for this integer called row, initialized to 0, and we're saying row should be less than matrix size. I'm sorry for that. So this is the variable that is used over here for the size of the rows. Row. And then if this condition is true, then it's going to execute the code that is inside of here. Now it will come into this for loop. So for this integer called column, so here we're saying column should be less than metric size. And one more thing, we're initializing column to 0. And over here, if this condition is true, then it's going to execute the code inside of here. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're checking if the row is less than or equal to column. So this row is this variable that is used over here, and this column is this variable that is used over here. So now what this means is that, so in the first iteration, we need only 1 0 to be printed, right? So over here, we're setting the value of row to 0 and even the value of column to 0. So here we're checking if the value of row is less than or equal to column. So right now the value of row and column is 0. Okay, so this code inside of this if statement is gonna get executed. After that, it will increment column by 1. And it'll come over here and check the condition which will be true at that time. And then it'll execute this, it'll check this condition. So over here, the value of row is 0 and the value of column is 1. So it won't execute this code that is inside here because this condition is false. So, and after that, it'll go over here and it'll increment the value of column by 1. Okay, so after that, it'll check this condition again, and this will be false because the value of row is 0 and the value of column is 2. So it won't execute this, and it'll be the value of column will always be more than the value of row, so it won't execute this over here. After that, it's gonna break out of this loop over here, and it's gonna put in a new line over here because of this console.writeLine method, and then go ahead, jump over here to the top and increment row by 1. And then it will check this condition which will be true at that time, and over here it will execute this for loop. So inside of this for loop, again we are checking for the condition if row is less than or equal to column. So at the moment this condition is true because the value of row is 1 and the value of column is 0. So it will execute the code that is inside of here, it will print in a 0. Okay, after that it will go over here and it will increment column by 1. And then it will come up here, come down over here, and it will check this condition. This condition is again true because the value of row is 1 and even the value of column is 1. So we're using the less than or equal to operator. So now these both values are equal. It's 1 and 1. So again, this code will get executed. Okay, so now let's save the changes that we made and run our program by just clicking Control plus F5. And you can see over here, it asks us to enter the size of the metric. So over here, now let's say something like 10. So over here, at first, this value over here is 10. Okay? And then it reduces to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and this last one. So it ends off at 1. Now I'll just go ahead and close this. So now imagine that you want to print it the opposite way, like 1 on the top and 10 at the bottom. So imagine that the user input is 10, okay? So in order to do that, over here, change this 0 to metric size minus 1. So it'll start indexing at 1, okay? I'm sorry, at 9. Over here, you have to say row greater than, not metric size, 0. Okay? And then over here, you have to put in not row plus plus, but row minus minus. You have to take away 1 from row. And now, it should print it out in the opposite way. So we'll just run the program. I'll just click Control plus F5. Okay, here, let's say like 10 again. Okay, it works. So first over here, it's 1, and over here, it is 10. Okay, and now I hope you learned how to create this very simple program using C# and a console application. So that's it for this video, guys. If you liked this video, leave a like and share this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more. Goodbye till the next video.